Well, here goes. This is sort of embarrassing, but I just found out that my wife of just 3 years, I am 31, and my wife is 29, had a threesome 1 week before we were married. The most horrible thing is, from the looks of it, she was never going to tell me, and I would have gone on living my life thinking she was this amazing person who did everything right. When in reality, she was just as flawed as so many of us are. We don't have any kids or any outstanding debt together. So, there wouldn't be any messy legalities to deal with. I don't know how to begin to rebuild trust with her, or if I even want to try. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary, but like I said, I wasn't looking for anything, but I started to notice a few weeks ago. She would always hang out with a friend of hers and her husband a lot, even canceled a few of our plans to go hang out with him or do something with just the three of them. I confronted her about it, and she said that they were just friends with a long history and that I was being paranoid. I didn't want to believe her, but I had no reason not to, so I didn't really press. I trusted what she said and didn't bring it up anymore. A few weeks go by and I get a call from my wife's sister asking me what time would I be home after work? I was like, why? She said that she needed to talk to me about something, but couldn't do it over the phone. I told her I would be home in a few hours, and she said she would come over then. When I got home, my wife's sister was at the front door. As soon as I walked up, she told me that her and her husband had been talking and they thought that I should know that right before I married her sister. Her sister had a threesome with a couple she hangs out with a lot. I said, what, you're joking? She says, no, I'm not joking. She said that my wife told her and swore her to secrecy. I hesitated for a second and said, swore you to secrecy? Why are you telling me now? She said, because she thought you should know. And that if it were her, she would want to know. I went into shock. I couldn't believe it. She even described the events of that night in detail to me. She said that her and her husband had been debating for months on whether or not to tell me, but they decided that I deserved to know. They didn't want me to find out some other way, and think they were keeping something from me. I thanked her for telling me and we hugged. She left. I go inside and sit on the couch in shock and in disbelief. I gather myself and I call a friend of mine about what I was just told, and he recommended right away that I confront her about it. My friend said, I will be careful about what you say and how you say it. You don't want to make things worse than they already are. I thought about what my friend said and decided that I was going to wait until the next day to talk to her about it. The next day at work, I couldn't focus on anything. All I could think about was what I had been told and what it meant. I came home from work and my wife was in the kitchen cooking dinner. As soon as she saw me, she knew something was wrong. She asked me what was wrong and I said nothing. She asked me again, and this time I said, we need to talk. She turned off the stove and we sat down at the kitchen table. I looked her in the eye and said, I was told that right before we got married, you had a threesome with the couple you hang out with. Her face went pale white. She couldn't say anything. I asked her if it was true. She finally found her voice and said, yes, it's true. I asked her why she did it. She said, I don't know. I was drunk and it just happened. I asked her why she didn't tell me. She said, because I knew you would be hurt and disappointed in me. And I didn't want to lose you. I asked her if she loved me. She said, yes, of course I do. I asked her if there was anything else I should know. She said, no, that's it. I told her I needed some time to process what she had told me and left the room. A few days went by and we didn't really talk about what happened. We just tried to act like everything was normal, but things were not normal. I couldn't get the image out of my head of her with another man, let alone another couple. I started to doubt everything she ever told me. I started to question our whole relationship. I mean, she cheated. We were engaged to be married and she cheated, plain and simple. A few days after that, I came home. She was sitting on the couch and I just flat out told her I wanted a divorce. She begged and pleaded with me, saying she was sorry and that she would do anything to make it up to me. I said, no, I'm done. I can't trust you anymore. I told her she betrayed me and kept it a secret and I wouldn't be able to look at her the same. She started crying and I just walked away. When I walked away from her, she pleaded one last time to give her another chance. I just simply said I can't and left. I went to a hotel and stayed there for a few days just to clear my head. I came home and she was gone. She had moved out. I don't know where she went. The next day, I called a few divorce attorneys in the area to see what my options are and start the process. The attorney I settled on said that since we don't have any kids and no assets together, this should be a pretty easy divorce. Fast forward a few days, my soon-to-be ex-wife's sister calls me and says she needs to talk to me about something. She comes over and we sit down and she tells me that her sister is pregnant with my child. I was in complete shock. I didn't know what to say or do. I asked her when she found out. She said a few days ago. I asked her sister, why didn't my soon-to-be ex-wife tell me? She said, because you two were not talking and you would probably use it against her in the divorce. I said, wait, I want to make sure this baby is mine. Then her sister interrupts me and says, it may not be yours. Then I said, let me guess, because of the couple she has been cheating with. She said, yes, it's possible. She then said, what are you going to do about it? I told her I didn't know. I needed some time to think about it. Even if the baby is mine, I am still going through with the divorce. I just can't be with someone I can't trust. A few weeks go by and my soon-to-be ex-wife's sister calls me back and says that her sister wants to talk to me. She comes over and we sit down at the kitchen table and she says, I'm sorry for what I did. I was drunk and it just happened. I said, yes, you were drunk, but that's not an excuse. I then told her we don't need to talk about that anymore. I have made my decision. She then said, I know you're going through with the divorce, but I want you to know that I'm keeping the baby regardless if it's yours or not. She then said, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me someday. I told her I forgave her a long time ago. I just can't be with someone I can't trust. After we had that discussion, she leaves. A few weeks go by and my attorney says that he has finally gotten around to filing the divorce petition. I am new to these forms, but I have a lot to think about if this kid is mine in the upcoming divorce. I appreciate the support I got. I have to make sure I make the right decisions. I know I am with the divorce. I can't be weak and take her back because she has a baby on the way that might not be mine. I will come back and give an update on my situation. I don't know when that will be. Hello everyone. I wanted to give an update on my situation since finding out that my wife of 3 years had a threesome 1 week before our wedding. Since then she has moved out. I found out that she has been living with her sister and is hanging out with her friend and her husband. And supposedly she is pregnant with my child, possibly twins. My soon-to-be ex-wife has tried to get back together with me. It seems like almost every week and I keep telling her there is no chance of that happening. It seems she doesn't get it. Or maybe she is just hoping that I would change my mind. Anyway, fast forward a few weeks and my attorney informs me that the divorce hearing is scheduled almost a month away. I go to the divorce hearing and find out that my soon-to-be ex-wife is also asking for spousal support, even though she is the one who cheated and is currently living with her sister rent-free. The judge decides to decline a request for spousal support, saying that she has no basis for spousal support, and you have only been married for 3 years. The judge asks both attorneys if there was anything else and both say no. And the judge grants me the divorce. I didn't lose anything. A few weeks after the divorce, I found out that my ex-wife's sister kicked her out of her house and she is now living with the couple that she had a threesome with. I also found out that she is not pregnant and was never pregnant. I was shocked that she would fake a pregnancy to try and get money from me, but I guess she would do anything to get what she wants. And to my surprise, she still calls and sends text messages. I don't respond to either of them. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for reading this and supporting me. I am still heartbroken over this, but divorcing her was the best thing I could have done.